change. So many times in life you hear people talking about the power of your belief system, your beliefs, and how your belief system will manifest things in your life in such a powerful, precise way. What you believe, you will receive. It's true. It's 100% true. If you believe that men can't be trusted, it's more than likely you're going to keep bumping into men who can't be trusted. If you believe women can't be trusted, it's more than likely you're going to, keep bumping into women who can't be trusted. What you believe, you will receive. Values are inextricable with beliefs, with your belief system. They are really intricately intertwined, but they're different in a few important ways. So let's talk about what is a value. I think that's a good place to start. So, values, right? Your values, they're the things that you place value into, that you put weight on, that you ascribe power to. In a narrative of a story, it's hard not to find some significant value changes in the central characters, because without value changes in the characters in a story, we tend to lose interest, because it's innate in us to want to see characters and people and personalities evolving, because this mirrors and echoes and reminds us inevitably of our own lives, because we are all, the one thing that's constant is change, and we are always changing. It's very true that who you were yesterday is not who you are today, and it's certainly not who you're going to be tomorrow. So there's a constant evolution, and whether you know it or not, your values are constantly changing. This is why we always say don't judge a person on yesterday. Okay, if you're judging a person on what you knew about them from 10 years ago, then you're judging the wrong person, because chances are they've underwent substantial circumstances in their life that have changed their values and their character. If you look at relationships, one of the fundamental breakdowns in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, family, business, usually the breakdown can be traced to a fundamental change in values, where one party puts value into something different than the other person is putting value into. If one party puts value into material possessions, the other person puts value into spiritual ideas, right? There's going to be a breakdown, right? A big part of success for the human condition and for the human pursuit, and sooner or later, it seems, we all arrive at a very auspicious occasion where we're called upon to change our core values. And we're usually called upon to change our core values because we're experiencing trial and tribulation and difficulty and calamity, and we're in rough shape. And usually, many times, we get to that difficult position because we're living by values that aren't our own internal innate values. I'm not a religious guy. I'm not an observant guy. But I often draw upon stories from the Bible because, A, I'm fortunate enough to have the wisdom passed on to me from my teachers and rabbis, and B, because I believe in biblical stories, we can find clarity and truths of our lives that we can find nowhere else. So if we're talking about now a change of value and the importance of that in our lives, we need only to look at the story of Abraham. It's the story of a very, very kind man of extraordinary faith. He's known for his kindness as much as he's known for his faith. But the story of Abraham is obviously was the very inception and the ignition of monotheism. He's the father of all monotheistic faiths and religions. And to accomplish this, he needed to do something extraordinary. He needed to change his values. Remember, Abraham was born into a family, a father especially, who conditioned him to worship idols as gods, statues, inanimate objects. No, before that, there was no conception of a benevolent God who couldn't be seen or touched, a God beyond time and space, an omnipotent, omniscient God. There was none of that idea, none of that thought. It was all about bowing to a complete statue. And his father conditioned him on these values. Now, a lot of us can relate to this. Because the truth is that we're brought into this world and conditioned by the values of those around us, specifically our parents. And one of the hardest things we'll ever do in our life is break away from often the flawed and ill-conceived values of our parents. It is my feeling that by recognizing the values that you're carrying that don't belong to you, but belong to your parents, that belong to the media, that belong to the magazines you read, the internet sites you go to, by recognizing these values and discarding them quickly, and by reconnecting with your own internal, innate, organic values, the values that flow from the depths of your soul and the recesses of your heart, by doing all this, you'll be one step closer to productivity, success, fulfillment, and living out your true purpose here on earth. Thank you so much.